So this is probably one of my more dumb ideas that I've ever done. But it's really about pushing myself. So back in, whenever it was earlier this year, I came out with my brother and some scout friends, and we did a through hike the Uwharrie Trail. And over the past year, I have really tried to get in better shape and just become a lot more effective with everything that I want to be able to do. So I'm not necessarily like trying to bulk up or anything crazy like that, but just be able to say yes to things. And so on that through hike back then, I came up with the hopefully good idea to through hike the Uwharrie Trail in one day. It's going to be a challenge, but that's kind of the point of the whole thing, is to challenge myself. It's about showing me what I'm capable of. I'm out here by myself, and so yeah, there's no one to prove anything to. There's no one to push me. It's just me. And so I'm genuinely excited, even though I know it's going to be uncomfortable, and I'm going to be challenged. Yeah, after I set that goal for myself, I've basically been trying to gear myself up physically for this hike. So I've done training hikes, I've done running, working out in the gym, and so I feel as ready as I can be. I read something where it said that being ready isn't necessarily a feeling, it's a choice. And so there's been a lot going on in real life that has slowed me down and honestly given me a lot of excuses not to do this. And I waffled for a little bit, but then when I happened to read that one day where being ready is a choice, and I said, you know what, I'm ready. And so I'm gonna do this, and I'm not gonna give up unless something really bad happens. I got Pete that is coming out to shuttle me, and I think he's gonna try to meet me in the halfway point too, just to kind of check on me and make sure things are all good. But the tentative plan right now is I'm gonna start at Wood Run and start hiking north. And then halfway point is about jumping off Rock Trailhead. So Pete's going to meet me there. I'll take probably a good break there, and then keep going north. And then I'll end up where I'm sitting right now at Tot Hill Farm Trailhead. So we'll see how it goes. Good times. All right. Well, back here at Wood Run.
Wait a minute. Let me get some better lighting.
Look at this monstrosity. Goodness gracious.
That's gonna do it.
I think the astronauts can see us now.
Well,
all right.
This is fun.
Hey. But Pete came through for me on the shuttle, so absolutely would not have happened without this guy. So I really appreciate it.
Woo! I mean, to be honest, I was thinking, what can I do on November 1st, the opening day of hunting season?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought the best thing would be to wake up at 3:40 in the morning.
Yeah.
And run shuttle for a backpacker.
Yeah, no paddling involved at all.
I did bring a boat. I may piddle around somewhere out here to kill time to lunch, which I hope to see you soon. Be eating a burger, River King style, somewhere on the trail.
That's gonna hit.
It's gonna be
good.
nice.
Let's do it. Well, there wasn't really much to film before the sun came up. Just made it to the top of Dennis Mountain. Feels kind of surreal to be trying this, not gonna lie. But just remind myself I'm out here in the woods, just on a stroll. All right, back on trail. It's the one of the things that I learned on my training hikes was that while it's important to have cardio and lower body strength and core strength and all those things for endurance. Absolutely have to fuel too. And so what I found was my training hikes were in Umstead Forest or Umstead State Park, and it was about an 18-mile loop that I had in there. And what I found was, while I could do the 18 miles, I was completely smoked at the end because I was just hungry and calorie deprived. And so on the training hikes, I would have, you know, granola bars and energy gels and fruit bars and stuff like that, but that just didn't sustain me. So what I'm trying, completely without trying it beforehand, these rec packs, supposedly they've got 700 calories each, and it's essentially a meal replacement shake. So I've got 3 of those. I just stopped at Yates Place for like 5 minutes and retied my shoes, and I added some water to my first rec pack, and I'm letting it mix for just a minute, and then I'm gonna try it. And so we're gonna see, because I'm already kind of feeling, I've been on the trail for about 3 hours, and I'm definitely feeling hungry. And I've been eating granola bars and energy gels, so I'm hoping that this rec pack hits the spot. But other than that, going about as moderate as a pace as I would want. What I don't want to do is overexert myself now and then have nothing left in the tank for later today. So I've never quite intentionally pushed my body like this before, so we'll see how it goes. So far so good times. All right, 12 miles in ish, but I absolutely could not pass this marker. It's very special. I think it's important that we take care of the wildlife everywhere, but the Forest Service has designated specific trees for the bears here in the Uwharrie National Forest. So this is a bearing tree, and it's specifically for the bears. I think that's pretty awesome that the Forest Service cares that much about the bears out here. So, well done. Good times.
It feels like the summer in the middle of a winter's day, and the wind that was bitterly blowing it slowed down and sent me away. Think I'll fill my cup with a pouring rain. Good times for a change. Goodbye to yesterday. Well, I ain't got far away, but I made it here, and I'm gonna stay.
All right, just crossed Highway 109. Tower Road is 6.3 miles. I think that's around, I can't remember. What I'm hoping is that I can get to Jumping Off Rock around noon, which would at least keep me on my planned schedule. I don't want to spend more than an hour at Jumping Off Rock. We'll see how the dogs feel. Right now I'm actually pretty good. I think it's just going to be a matter of feeding my body calories and electrolytes, maintaining a positive mindset, and putting one foot in front of the other. Beautiful day, good times. 10:36 a.m. crossing Spencer Creek. All right, just came up Horse Mountain, and I'm starting to reach that point. It's starting to become a mental game, not that it wasn't before, but Horse Mountain was the first time I considered stopping on an incline to rest, and I forced myself not to. I'm glad I didn't stop. It's always harder to start after you've stopped versus just keep going. So slowed my pace, dug the trekking poles in, and marched up the hill. So I'm gonna be real honest. I don't know how you ultra runners do this on a regular basis, because I'm not running. I'm just hiking. I'm not sure exactly how far to Jumping Off Rock Trailhead, but probably within 1.5 miles or so. It's about a mile and a half. It doesn't really matter. Just gonna keep going. No other choice. Good times. All right, home stretch. Coming down into the trailhead for the end of phase 1. But something that is very apparent, the southbound trail coming out of Jumping Off Rock Trailhead is a pretty significant climb. And I've done that climb a few times, and it's been emotional each time. But this is the first time I have come down this hill, and I think I might actually prefer coming up, because this is that was painful, and I'm not done yet. I've still got a fair amount to go. Good times. You know how you can tell when you've arrived as a hiking channel on YouTube? When kayaking YouTube celebrities bring you food. That's how you know you've arrived. Yeah, that's my Uber Eats.
Good luck, sir. You'll never guess on that. I saw some people on the road and I was waiting, so I was walking up there. And as I got closer, I just put my hands like, what are you doing here? It's Steve-O and his mom.
What?
As he came from Joe Moffett.
Ah, okay.
He was gonna do it out and back, but his mom was like, I don't know if I can make it. So literally they got here when I got here, and she was gonna wait for him. I'm like, well, as soon as Austin's done, I'll just drive you up.
It's meant to be.
It's meant to be.
It's meant to be.
Yeah. She's taking a load off pretty well.
Awesome. So just for the record, the map said this was supposed to be 19.2 miles from Wood Run to here. And that's why I told my Uber Eats driver that I should be there sometime afternoon. It's 12:32, but it's 20.86 miles from, let's see what Gaia says. Yeah, 20.43 on Gaia. So more than 19.2 miles.
I'll give you a few minutes fudge then.
So that's why I'm there. This is the way to do it though, folks.
Got you a nice burger, some nice
Oh, gosh.
got you some M&Ms, Coke or Gatorades, whatever you need.
Sainthood right here.
Yeah.
Oof. Good times.
All right, this is the midget signing off. Got him a tank of gas.
Woo.
Oh yeah.
Ready for another 20 miles.
Awesome, man. Go get him.
All right.
So it's right on the other side of the bridge.
Yeah.
Yep. Good luck.
Piece of cake. Piece of cake. Back on trail, man. Had a most welcome break. Can't say enough thank yous to Pete, because the logistics of this trip would have been much more complicated, probably more painful without him. So he really did save the day this time. So not only does he yank me out of rivers and keep me from drowning over and over again, but he'll even help me out on hiking trips. Tip of the cap to you, sir. But anyways, the next milestone is going to be Eagle's Nest Shelter, which I'm looking forward to. There's a pretty decent view up there, but gotta work for it. Gotta get up there. I don't remember the exact mileage up to the shelter, but the sign back there said 3 miles to the Joe Moffett Trailhead, which is on the other side of the shelter, so less than 3 miles to the shelter. So when I did the planning for the trip, it was 19.2 miles from Wood Run to Jumping Off Rock, and then 17 and some change from Jumping Off Rock to Tot Hill Farm. So I assume it's going to be a little more than 17 and some change. I was really pushing the pace because I knew Pete was waiting on me, and so I managed to get up to 3.2 miles an hour as an average for phase 1. So phase 2, I'd like to maintain at least 3, but I'm starting pretty slow, I'm not gonna lie. My legs started cramping right before the end of phase 1, and I took some energy gels and that kind of helped it. And then I took some more electrolyte drinks during lunch, refilled water. So we'll see how that helps. But I knew this climb was gonna suck starting out. Good times. All right, Eagle's Nest is behind us, and my pace has definitely slowed. But at this point, like, it matters, because I really don't want to be hiking in the dark again today. But as long as I can get the road walking done before the sun goes down, I think my wife would be a lot happier with that, so I don't become roadkill. But I think that's 100% doable, because Walker's Creek is maybe 7-ish miles, give or take. And then 3 miles after that, so 10 miles before the sun goes down. That's 100% doable. But I think, just based on previous experience, there's roughly 16 miles to go. But we'll see how that goes. If that's the case, then this is more like a 40-mile day hike, not a 36-mile day hike, which I guess is good. Like, it's not gonna feel good, I know that, but ultimately the reason I'm doing this is to show myself that I can do this. So I guess as long as I don't die, then it's a good thing. All right, just a side note. So this tree behind me, our mom growing up always said that Native American culture used trees to mark trails, and they would bend the trees in unnatural directions, and then they would grow like that, and that would be the trail marker, kind of like a blaze. And so Strider and I were out here a long time ago, probably one of our first trips together out here, and I was like, oh look, a trail tree. And you know, I'm not a historian, but it's probably been a hot minute since Native Americans have walked these lands and made trail trees. So there is a chance that this is not actually a trail tree. So I'm going to give Strider that. There is a possibility this is not a trail tree. However, I'm going to say this is a trail tree. Yeah, solid trail tree. Good times. There are freaking people everywhere. Before I stopped for lunch, I saw 4 people in 6 hours. Joe Moffett Trailhead that I just passed, brimming full of cars and people. I'm so used to being out when nobody else is, and so like Strider and I have had Eagle's Nest all to ourselves before, which is the preferred technique. And so to see it just overcrowded like that makes me happy that I'm still moving. My body is starting to talk to me a lot more now, and it's a matter of pushing through at this point. It did occur to me as I watched Pete drive away today that that was my safety net, and barring some significant emotional event, that was going to be my only way back to the car if something happened and I didn't want to finish the hike. So nothing like watching your ride leave you to motivate you to finish. So no option but to move forward, which is fine. The pain is there, but it's not as manageable. So it's one of those things, like, I know that at the end of the day I'm going to be able to get in the truck, go home, take a shower, sleep in my own bed, so my tolerance for things goes up when I have that in the back of my head. So yeah, just cranking through these miles. Good times.
Good times for a change. Goodbye to yesterday. Well, I ain't got far away, but I made it here, and I'm gonna stay. Good time to smile.
Almost there.
Blue skies for a couple miles.
I've been very blessed to have experienced some epic summits and some epic trips. But one thing I've learned is each summit hits just as good when you reach the top. This one's no exception. Highest point on the Uwharrie Trail at a whopping 1,020 feet. Take that, Mount Whitney. Ha! Oh, I guess it's all downhill from here. Good times. So most of the trail has had these signs that mark the miles, and they're roughly accurate, or my GPS is roughly accurate. But I guess this means I've walked a marathon at this point. The difference between this and a marathon is I still got probably 12, 13 miles. We'll see. I genuinely have no idea how much or how many miles are going to be there at the end, because the map said 36, but pretty confident it's going to be more than that. Whatever. Beautiful time. Good times. Just cranking through the miles now. Turned on the tunes and tried to go to my happy place. So the good news is the pain is, yeah, I guess I'm just getting used to it, but my feet are tired and knees are tired, and but overall pretty good. I've got maybe a mile and a half or so to Walker's Creek trailhead. That'll start the road walk. It's starting to feel like I'm going to do this. Walker's Creek trailhead is definitely a landmark. It feels like Todd Hill Farm, where my truck is it's starting to feel attainable. Yeah, it'll feel good when I get there. Here we go. Good times.
Good times for a change. Goodbye to yesterday. Well, I ain't got far away, but I made it here, and I'm gonna stay. Good time to smile, blue skies for a couple miles, bad news going out of style. You can laugh it off for a little while. It feels like a feeling like something has changed. It feels like a feeling like something has changed. It feels like a feeling like something has changed.
All right, just took a short break at Walker's Creek Trailhead. This begins my 3.5 mile road walk to Robbins Branch Trailhead, and then back on trail from there. Robbins Branch is kind of the last landmark. What I've come to learn is to break this whole day down into small chunks. So I just finished a chunk by making it here, and I'm gonna take another chunk with this road walk. Just one little bit at a time. Ain't no way but through at this point. Whew. Here we go. Good times.
And the wind that was bitterly blowing, it slowed down and sent me away. Think I'll fill my cup with a pouring rain. Good times for a change. Goodbye to yesterday.
I have come to the conclusion that this road walk will never end, and so this is how I'm going to spend the rest of my life, just walking on this 2-lane road with no end in sight. It feels like it takes forever, but allegedly on the map it's only 3.5 miles, give or take. This is really annoying. Not a tremendous amount of traffic, but every time a car comes, especially coming at me, I have to get completely off the road so that I don't die. This is what we got going on. That's a little disheartening, not gonna lie. The good news is, up there at the top of that hill, give or take, is the turnoff for Robbins Branch Trailhead. But this stretch of road is my least favorite part of this this road walk, because you can see for at least a mile, which is not the pick-me-up that I really need at the moment. It's been a really long day. I've got probably at least a few more hours of walking, and despite my best efforts, I'm gonna finish this hike in the dark, just like I started it. So, it is what it is. I'm working at max speed right now, which is not terribly fast. My legs are feeling it. Feet are feeling it, but we're still putting one in front of the other, so that's what's important. No other option but to keep pushing. But this is kind of the home stretch. Once I get up to Robbins Branch, I think it's like 5-ish miles. The downhills have been worse in this phase 2. Like, it really started coming down to jumping off rock, and then all the downhills basically this afternoon have been pretty excruciating. So the uphills I'm actually okay with, because I can kind of dig in and use the trekking poles, but downhills just kind of are what they are. So crank out this last however long road walk, one step closer to the truck every second. Good times. Well, I'm not really sure how, but the road walk is sort of over. I'm at least off the pavement. Now on the gravel road that goes to Robbins Branch Trailhead, which, not sure how I feel about this yet, is uphill. Good. Good. Moon's coming out, but the good news is I'm okay hiking in the dark on the trail. I'm definitely not okay hiking in the dark on the road, mainly because I'm not dressed for it. It's poor planning on my part. And as Pete put it earlier, it's the first day of hunting season, and I just walked through a national forest. So I've heard a few gunshots, but yeah, I could tell they weren't shooting at me, so it's always good. All right, let's get this done. Almost. Good times. There's no telling what this video is going to look like. It's just a hodgepodge of talking head and walking shots. Should be easy to edit. Rolling into Robbins Branch trailhead. Feeling a little raggedy, not gonna lie. Got a final push, so I'm gonna actually take a break, calorie up, get some electrolytes, get ready for this final push. Good times. I've already resorted to the fact that I'm gonna be hiking in the dark, so I'm less in a rush now. And so I'm gonna take some time. You know, I was having some introspection on that miserable road walk, but you know, I thought about trying to explain this to people, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Even my wife was like, why are you doing this? And it's a valid question, because there's no, on the face of it, no logical reason to put myself through this. But what I've come to learn in life is sometimes it's important to do things that you know are going to challenge you and maybe even scare you a little. And so while the Uwharrie Trail in and of itself is not scary, it's a pretty straightforward trail, very accessible, and lots of people use it. And quite honestly, like what I'm doing is not even that adventurous, because there's I can't remember what the FKT is for the Uwharrie, but it's like something like 6 or 7 hours, which is less than what I'm at right now. So yeah, but the point is this is challenging for me, and it's outside of my comfort zone. It's by far the longest day I've ever had on trail. So the thought of doing this is a little daunting. And so while my feet hurt and I'm tired and I've still got at least 5 miles to go, I'm still enjoying it in its own way, if that even makes sense. Because when we do things that challenge us, it shows us kind of who we are. It strips away some of the things that we put up to mask even to ourselves who we really are, how we handle adversity, how we handle failure. I've had to handle some failure this year, and it was not easy, but I learned a lot from it. And yeah, so it's probably a little heavy for whatever this video is going to be, but the main reason I wanted a video today was, again, for me, to document it. So that's why, like, normally when I'm on trail or with a group, like, I don't talk about what hurts and what doesn't hurt, and when I'm tired and everything like that. But for this, I'm it's kind of my internal monologue. So I'm gonna say it to the camera because I want to document it. I want to document it for me, to remind myself that no, it was not all rainbows and unicorns. And a lot of times I don't record these types of things on camera out on trips, but maybe I'll start. Who knows? Maybe it's a little too heavy. Who knows? All right, I'm gonna get some energy bars and some gel and polish off some electrolytes. Get back on trail. Finish this off. Good times. Back on trail, man. Let's go. Oh, this is gonna be a rough 5 miles. Good times. All right, well, this is kind of a weird way to hike. I've got my GoPro in one hand. I've turned my headlamp off just so it doesn't blind the camera, but I'm using my phone to light my face. And yeah, gonna be hiking in the dark. I guess it's only fitting. But what I realized was that these last few miles are actually the most important, and not because they're the last few miles, but because I really don't want to do them. I thought of myself as I sat there at Robbins Branch that I wish the trail ended here so that I could climb in the truck and drive home. But the whole point of being out here is honestly for these last few miles. To do the things that are uncomfortable. Do the things that we don't want to do. Because just because we don't want to do them doesn't make them bad. Sometimes, very often, the things we don't want to do ultimately make us better. So, I won't be better tomorrow, but maybe the next day. Good times. All right, made it to Camp 5, which might sound like it's something, but it's really just a clearing in the woods. But it's a dot on the map. This is it's been a dark hike. It's been kind of spooky. I like it. Let's do this. Good times. Oh, I don't know if you can see that back there. That's my beautiful truck. Made it. I wasn't going to allow myself to not finish, which is why I pushed myself so hard. But done, baby. Good times. All right. Well, I wasn't quite in the mood for filming. When I first got into the truck, all I could really think about was getting my shoes off. My feet are not great. No blisters, but I've just been on my feet for like 14-15 hours, so there's that. And then I think the final mileage was like 39 and some change, and there's some hefty elevation change in there, so I'm very satisfied that is done. The last 5 miles was a gut check, and it took a long time. That last 5 miles, however long it was like 2.5 hours. So that's a long time so I mean, but honestly, like, that was as fast as my feet were gonna go. Like, they're throbbing right now. And honestly, I had to slow down too, just because it was dark, and I really don't want to fall. So now, the best part of any hike is the post-hike meal, and I don't think these people know what's about to hit them. I'm gonna eat all of the waffles. I'm not just gonna eat a lot of the waffles. I'm gonna eat all the waffles. This is definitely a one and done, but it feels good to have it in the books. It also feels good to know that it can happen if I need it to. So, yeah. We'll see you on the next one. Good times.
Good time to smile. Blue skies for a couple miles. Bad news going out of style. You can laugh it off for a little while. It feels like a feeling like something has changed. It feels like a feeling like something has changed. It feels like a feeling like something